de akwakodi ho anase edin ene wo nanso so eni ho ehye nipa da sani ebetu akwawiem ene onyankropon akotena democracy eyema bibifo anase enyema yen kwasi broni trim popa ene senti a wode vaccination eba abibiman mu na family plan so mpo no ehye ban ana kwasi broni hye ye e wodi krom enti a wode etoa yen eba ne sen ana gay ati atese e wo wiase afana nyinara ene we se illuminati ene we se freemason ene we se sumwe mu ni nyinara ahyase firi he no broni trim po a wode sanyema we nyinara eba no de atoa abibiman mu no ene sen we entram so hwe wake up Africa kwasi da we ni kwasi da bia awia dumienu ekopem awia no mienu live on Royal TV eye dwumadi a ofa poku danko ye executive director edema free the mind movement ene ofa Israel Nkroma a eye coordinator edema free the mind movement no ebeka me Michael Asma ho na yesim konwa na madi dwumadi ho chiame na ensem bi atise no ye gina twekronkron so abakosem ene twere ahodo so na ede mo hu ba bia obibini ufiri ene mu a edro ene soma a wosombo amabrofo sisi a che ebra so se call together twere kaye no etumi bam ne no ana hyase o free the mind movement dwumadi e say wake up Africa dwumadi so praso say ye fa dwumadi live on Royal TV so kwase da we ni kwase da bia awia dumienu kopim no mienu na ya jo so adwenche na wasemmisa ye ano e de ama wake up Africa abibiman moma yen sore
Media for media education.
Adis mama wa makwaba ahaye Ax Media Practical Institute. Paul Amantem so na yesina dikanfo. We ni suku a yetete akunini ni abenfo about the practical aspect of journalism. Ghana TV station, radio station be no Ax Media ni ho. And I'm say about practical aspect of journalism. Ye number one. I mean, you were the state of the art equipment. Ye babuao na upeso ye radio presenting, TV presenting, camera and editing, master control room, MCR no over Ax Media Practical Institute ye de be ma. Yes ye Ax Media bisa keke ye de be ma. Ye obusumi miensa ye obusumi nsia enso so ade wo ho. Obusumi miensa betima radio obusumi nsia wa ye TV. The opposite we be our betimi aye ewa ha yenji certificate bia we practical training e de ma ewo ya so ye ahanum o pass media be hu ye wo he enkrai wa chimota ABC Junction no opposite and after we do Malcolm new Malcolm na o fe ya numbers dey baba be fa e de wako ho your hostel won cry o nante no wako your hostel wo kumase ye to nsafro oba na otifie no oni problem manamra nyenchira Ax Media ya sibisa kake na ya de bema medamase
Ax Media for media education. No one go forgive you. If you read with the rain, no Ax Media.
Sister we choose A&A Travel and Tours. BBBF for quaint to Hubiano. Yet me yet the mouth. Yen services nibine visa service, passport service, opesa tour tickets, travel consulting, safari services. Nina yebi say about you visa pay and I say immigration issues. Why I am fa any yenya na yebeti mi abuawo. Yebe mau travel advice papa ebe buawo. Nakai say IELTS exams any classes no dear. Very easy with us. Inka weni nhwe babia. Inti fraying was 0534 094 222 and 0592 537 519. Uhwehwe ye chira kwan a ye wo achimota ye be Malcolm ho a e wa kra ha. Na kuma senso ye wa hodwo A&A Travel and Tours. Bibia fa wa kwan to ohu bia no. Ye best hotel.
Ayano krese heavy ho adacha kwama bia no a Christopher hotefo anase esoma udoma hotefo ebenya de akwakodi ho anase edin ene wo nanso eni ho ehye nipa da sani ebetu akwawiem ene onyankropon akotena democracy eyema bibifo anase enyema yen kwasi broni trim popa ene senti a wode vaccination eba abibiman mu na family plan so mpo no ehye ban ana kwasi broni hye ye e wodi krom enti a wode etoa yen eba ne sen ana gay ati atese e wo wiase afana nyinara ene we se illuminati ene we se freemason ene we se sumwe mu ni nyinara ahyase firi he no broni trimpo a wode sanyema we nyinara eba no de atoa bibiman mu ene sen we entram so hwe wake up Africa kwase da we ni kwase da bia awia dumienu ekopem awia no mienu live on Royal TV eye dwumadi a ofa poku danko ye executive director edema free the mind movement ene ofa Israel Nkroma a eye coordinator edema free the mind movement no ebeka me Michael Asma ho na yesim konwa na madi dwumadi ho chiame na ensem bi atise no ye gina twekronkron so abakosem ene twere ahodo so na ede mo hu ba bia obibini ufiri enu mu a edro ene soma wo sombo na mabrofo sisi ache ebra so se call together atwe ne kaye no etumi bam ne no ana ahya ase o free the mind movement dwumadi e say wake up Africa dwumadi so praso say ye fa dwumadi live on Royal TV so kwaseda we ni kwaseda bia awia dumienu kopim no mienu na ya de wo so adwenche na wasemmisa ye ano e dia ma wake up Africa abibi man moma yen sore
Amuna oba ye krumse oba betray yamesu etray no to
aba at the Banji media actually this wake up Africa so our Royal Television video so and also so a dafo fro kwesiada adu and also so wake up Africa atenase mpanifo ade omakonya anti ya de jumadi abasomu when say they can wake up Africa mpanifo mienu ayeni almost 80 jumadi awo menchen awo fiemu yeni omo ba besomu awo jumadi so eye ofaya poku dankwa our executive director edema ikuwa your friend Free the Mind Movement on the bar Israel Nkrumah no so national coordinator edema ikuwa your friend Free the Mind Movement something if we come home I did jumadi e ba besomu and asama that committee aye be di hu nkomo ni ahwemu no the horrific bloodshed by the Jesuits in history for the control of the world for the Pope. We any asema ende ye babe di hu nkomo na what you say ne na mpanifo agi akonya na mo je mmerema omo course asemu na eye ofa ade enko history no abakosemu na on the video any pictures cultural semu any hwehwemu books bi a waye mpensemu di gina so e kasa e ma o ma ye to say in history say mu no and history mu no emu ache miensa you were the ancient history you were the medieval history and you were modern history and no of adanedi e ma ye hu ye na no of ama ye hu say in the ancient history no na sabre no ni petuntum kwa na we wiase na ye ka osikoko a na woni hokra anunti edidimu a na afi ibedu medieval history na ho na osikoko eyi neti eba wiase ofa eldanedi e ma yehu na medieval history ni mu no na ofa ma yehu se bra osikoko pie ye no Roman Empire no mbeji a na omuye edu a na omubefa ya omuye nipadu abusuaku du na miensa de etwi omase eyi omu fi ho ene beka 7 and into offer the picture eto TV ne so e ma ye hwere na afi offer my history bi na sa history no e fa papa bi ye fe no Napoleon Bonaparte nipa dodo na nim sa history ate sa history no na offer my hu say history no say ye te no sa na ente sa into offer the ekomu e me ye be hu say Napoleon Bonaparte juma dia obi ye nyina no na ye nkofoko bi ye Jesuits na ni nyina ne say ọmọ ni jijuma eyi pope bi efi ho bi ana pope no wa disband Jesuit dwumadie ọmọ bo anwo so enti ọmọ yusu Bonaparte Napoleon Bonaparte eyi sa pope ni fi ho ọmọ yusu ni de jijuma bebre ọmọ ye no e na ọmọ pia na ti kokko share baabi itwato no kura no ọmọ ma ne poison e na ọmọ yi ni fi wiase ana ofa ma ye hu se Jesuit for enkrofobia ọmọ dwumadie ọmọ di no ọmọ yi ọmọ ni memo ọmọ titi akuakuo enti bibi ti sẹ Illuminati ọmọ the Club of Rome Jesuit foya ọmọ titi sa akuo nyina ọmọ na ọmọ so di ọmọ di dwuma sẹ na bẹ ya ẹnyẹ ọfa ẹna bẹ tẹrẹ fìdí so antam ní omi yẹn no yẹn ti kura sí ẹwọn nkọfọ bi ẹ fẹ ọmọ Jesuit da nanso Illuminati ní ọmọ bàtà de atiti bi esan sẹ ọmọ bie sa akuo sẹ na bẹ ọmọ bẹ pia ọmọ ẹgyina anim na wiase nyina ho sẹ ọmọ na ọmọ di dwuma bi enti Jesuit yan kan hu sẹ even Roman Empire na kura ye pope na oye ni animu ni sẹ Jesuit for abo nso wọ ne oye ho a ọmọ yi fi ho na menu mienu ofa eda we nyina adi ema ye hu na ọmọ fa Napoleon Bonaparte so na ọmọ ọsẹ wiase adi wura modern history we ofa danadi ema ye hu ye obi ọmọ no na Israel nso ba mu
na Israel de ọbẹ mu no ẹna ọbẹ kyerɛ yɛn sɛ ɔbɔ adeɛ bɔ ne wiase no ɔhyehyɛ ne wiase no ɔma yɛn righteous cycles set times ɛna set seasons ɛna ɔma yɛn holy days na ɛno na Israel de yɛ kɔɔ kyerɛ mu ɛna ɛkɔ kenkan yɛ hu sɛ one of the holy days a ne bere so ɛsɛ sɛ yɛdi no ɛnɛ dɛn na yɛhu ewiase edi ade foforɔ ewiase Easter ewiase bronya ewiase Valentine ɛno ɛna Israel ɛde yɛ kɔɔ mu a yɛhu sɛ ɛyɛ Jesus a ewiase nyinaa di na to mu no ɔno kura mpo na ɛnɛ mo se ɔno na mo di na awoda no wɔndi Easter bi wɔndi bronya bi ana Valentine bi na emu ne odi yɛ no ɛyɛ Passover last week Israel ɛna yɛ kenkan wei nyinaa ɛda no ɛno nti last week wei ne nneɛma mpanyinfoɔ no ɛda na di maa yɛhu yɛ ɛna nso so mpanyinfoɔ no agye wɔn akonnwa na menim sɛ ɔmo atena se ɔmo wɔ nsɛm a ɔmo de bɛbɛma yɛn so ne a medi dwumadie mu kyia me medi ne Kofi Kumi ɛkyɛn mu ama me nua Michael Asima na ebia na wɔn ni fie ɛnso pɛ sɛ wɔhwɛ dwumadie yi nea mɛka ne sɛ ɔkɔ abɛɛfo ntentan so a ɛyɛ YouTube anaasɛ Facebook a ɔhwehwɛ Wake Up Africa GH a ifakyɛw wobɛtumi aka yɛn ho wɔ dwumadie so live na wɔn nso wahwɛ yi ɔkɔ abɛɛfo ntentan so YouTube ana Facebook a ɔhwehwɛ Wake Up Africa GH a dwumadie wɔn nsa bɛka na wahwɛ ɛyɛ yɛ WhatsApp ifakyɛw matena se fa WhatsApp bra fa SMS bra magye akonnwa mɛkenkan ɛde ama wo number a wɔbɛfa so no ɛyɛ 0206 51 9335 0206 519335 wei ɛne number wɔde SMS ɛne wo text message ɛbɛfa so nipakyɛ ɛkaebɔ kakra ɛyɛ visitation ɛbɛba so ɛyɛ week yi a yɛwɔ mu yaa ɛwɔ yɛn anim yaa Sabbath sɛhwi asan so visitation ɛbɛba ɛyɛ ɛdikɔ ɛbɛba hɔ aba visitation na visitation yi nti sɛ ebi a na obi pɛ sɛ ɔpɛnkyerɛmu bi anaa ɔpɛ sɛ ohu a biribi ɛfa ho a ɔbɛfrɛ ɛyɛ Benito a ne number yɛ 0594 205795 0594 205795 nea ebi wɔ bio nso so ɛyɛ sɛhwi bɛkwae ɛhɔ nso so visitation ɛbɛba hɔ na ɔpɛnkyerɛmu bi a ɔbɛfrɛ ɛyɛ Dr. Nkɔhia ɛno nso ne number no ɛyɛ 0243 734847 0243 734847 wei ne numbers a ɔfrɛ a na ɔpɛnkyerɛmu bi a wɔn nsa bɛka yɛn nsa mmere no yɛnkɔ mpanyinfoɔ no ne nomadi na dwumadie no yɛmfa nhyehyɛ so Israel
ɛsi
ɛmu akɔ aba
so
megye sɛ biribi a bɛkɔ
kama
ɛdɛ ɔbɔ ade ase ɔba pàtó sá ahoɔden wɔ hɔ yɛde ɔbɔ ade ase ɔbɔ ade adom ɔbɔ ade kura yi mu ɛho yɛ ɔba ahoɔden wɔ hɔ yi na nkwa ɛwɔ mu na homeɛ ɛdibɔ mu yi deɛ na mɛka sɛ wɔma wonim sɛ nnɛ wowɔ nsɛm paa de ma yɛn ɔma yɛn nso yɛayɛ krado ɛdi ɔfa ne pàtó yɛgye adwumadi no ma
yɛdi ka yɛbɛkyia ahwɛfoɔ nyinaa
ahwɛfoɔ agye wo so fa
yɛbɛka no sɛ wama summary deɛ last week yɛkɔɔ yi nyinaa nti na yɛmfa firi hɔ sɛ ɛsɛ ɛgu nyinaa ma yɛ krado mo twɛn nti Napoleon firi mu no ɛde de siiɛ ɛnsɛm bebree de sisiiɛ nkakra yɛfiri history dada no aba modern history na afei yɛakɔ future deɛ ɛba bɛda yɛ ni deɛ ɛbɛbɛbɛba nyinaa a JESUITS yi ɛtɛ akyiri nti ne nyinaa no yɛbɛhwɛ na ansa no ɛnkyɛ yɛana nkɔfoɔ bebree wɔ hɔ a wɔn mu gyidie bi sɛ yɛbɛtoo sɛ pope bi wɔ hɔ ni hɔ a owu a ne yɛsi foforɔ nti wɔn nso nim sɛ ɛbɛkɔ saa de akosi daabi expiry date wo bedum rebi na expire nso mbɛbi eyi nti ɛno nso ɛsi ɛhyɛ ne nso efisɛ yɛkɔ akɔhwɛ the sea after Napoleon's poison and death no pope firi a ne yɛbɛkeka wɔn nsɛm
Yes, no, yam you who say if you baby in a cozy baby, and you ever quite be any poop seven a baby cry. And Sana Macquaco was free. Napoleon he defeated in 1815. Infantry because Abaco in 1140 now Irish Bishop B. Malachy Ugmodai. Nana on court Rome any Pope Innocent II. Contributing Komubi fa on only diocese. No diocese no you back or man and a back cashier. Maintenance and same being was good to quite walk. Now 1140 time now require a by ship steamer, Sabin Rane steamer. To every island, I call Italy, it taking 16 months. Sana kwa budu ntukodu ye no oso manyam bedu manyam bedu room dia and the man say me call one of the hills of blue na kwa ko bompai amanda oba dia say what you mean my baby bi asumbi ko ya mpa bo mu no and ko dani vision. When I vision, you know, I was satisfied with church or Latin phrases. I gave us some number. Or see when you vision about 111 popes and a baby. After 111, a could be there were money number. You chat when you are money number. Name or the doom saying be any man so no need any day or that person sheep in the tribulation and look around and the end of the Roman Catholic Church and better Roman bishop and any so I knew into a church of places the phrase is not true to him. If you have to say the destiny of the Pope, no, wow, or no, being almost 111 popes. You know, the Latin phrases, another example, but could be Eddie, an American, they were sorry. Okay, now the Latin phrase is Peregrinus Apostolis. What about Bofumwa, a apostolic wanderer?
Okay.
The sign pan, I'll buy also. Be to sir. It's not hard to say. I have said the nature of the Pope, the destiny of the Pope, and also the coat of arms of the Pope. I don't know Latin priest, a Babek. What I have been said, about church, one innocent Kushia, let us have the compliment. Okay, Kushia innocent. And also, manuscript, you know, if we insert a free innocent insert and a conscious secret archives for 150 years. In the Malachy, we are we're commodity and yes, or Samba. The coup 1148 Anna, we are the mass be when then I saw in celebrating mass and I didn't be seen me, but you never saw me, and I just said, free. When July 6, 1190, Pope Clement III, and so canonized, you know, and we had the first Irish saint. until the Queen Bay Saint Malachy. Saint Malachy, the vision of the popes, after 450 years, and as America said, early 1590s, Anna, we will be almost research on the Nabodini, where Benedictine historian, and also Dominican researcher, all of them discover manuscript. As I wrote through the history of the Roman Catholic Church, that title of the year, Ligumum Vitae, book with title on and all the prophecies is she. It's a unknown and number so. We have a near friend, Dom Harold Brown, our Benedictine historian and Dominican researcher. A publishing a book 1592, and I'll be about public domain. And I just read so much to qualify. I don't know how I said, Obiema Vision said, popes are member from the time now, or no Malachy on. Remember, I 111 popes. After that, 112 no they are money number. Only and you see, we try to. We also be that doom saying and eternity. Now, some more true part who know if they can now. Into no day, Roman Catholic Church and also be called or saying. After I say, I can see a woman. After a bad people in the free history books. Probably and so and really mean castle. And just you see so much to qualify. I'm the only now the whole thing, a forgery. Hey, what they say? And so we acquire cancel. Because starting said, one more tracking places. One say, popes never in Nano, one more 50 into a head then. And our cousin yellow crate. What would be actually who say a yellow crate? I've been very keen to move the actually. No, just say about 80-90% of the phrases, and yet I be able to say by chance. And then true. And your Baba Buffet, BB, Elhan. The first video, history. And now, Baba Mayor. Okay. Your first video, no. About here, that's so no. The prophecy of Saint Malachy about the popes. The prophecy of Saint Malachy about the popes. But your Sadia Cradwa, move on to so Emade. Now, Papa and Fancanase.
In the 12th century, Saint Malachy, who was the Archbishop of Armagh in Ireland, reportedly had a profound vision during a trip to Rome. He envisioned the future popes and documented this revelation in a series of 112 cryptic Latin mottos. These mottos were said to symbolize the popes from St. Malachy's time onwards. Intriguingly, this prophecy only came to light about 400 years after Malachy's death, but since its emergence, many believe that it has accurately foretold the succession of popes. Among these predictions, the most compelling is the last one. According to St. Malachy, the final pope would be named Peter. This pope is foretold to lead the Roman Church through tribulations, marking the end of the papal lineage and, some interpret, the end of the world. Interest in the prophecy reignited when Pope Benedict XVI neared the end of his papacy. Upon the appointment of his successor, speculation soared. When the new pope announced his name as Francis, some experts in prophecy claimed that he was, in fact, Peter the Roman. They based this assertion on the idea that, despite being an Argentine cardinal named Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Pope Francis might have Peter in his birth name and could be considered Roman due to his Italian immigrant parentage in Argentina. As with most prophecies, the full truth and accuracy of St. Malachy's vision remain shrouded in mystery. Only the unfolding of future events can potentially validate or debunk these claims. The intrigue surrounding the prophecy of the popes continues to captivate people, leaving many to wonder about the significance of these predictions and what they might mean for the future of the Catholic Church.
Yakosha video no aba. Video we ena na ofa echechirimu se pope bia. Panyi bi okọ pope okosra na afi oduye na oso okobọ mpa no konya vision na ochechire pope se beba na ebesisi na ebeto wo no. Eno hu video. It we pure history about popes. Any sheya egwo kwam ne nyema ebetoto wo ma. Ni nyina no abubem. Enko fa na ofa enko yeso.
Video there here was not general overview. It is not specific. Once I called 1798, and my general patia or call Rome, our quarter Pius VI. Or can't say it in a year soon. It's one more examining to France. Our call. It is a Malachy. I'm here. The list of the popes, and then the book by First Peter.
The first picture, no, the last pope, the decline and fall of the Church of Rome, the prophecies of Saint Malachy for the new millennium, John Hockey.
John Hock.
Okay. Pato saya kadwa, monfa ento somai na ofa enfanka na se.
Book no copy the crabby. Number so you title no say ya a city. And sana makai bibia wo mo makai. And that's the title the last poop. Over page 211. Envanto so. Second picture.
Second picture no, if I show the last pope. Page 211. Malachy prophecy of the popes. Number 96. Sorry, number 96. Pope plus
Pope Pius VI.
Okay. Pope Pius VI. Peregrines Apostolicus.
Latin phrase or true. I don't know, in Tiasiano, and when Ubekai, a hair, the ABC, a Hakakrea.
Okay. 96. Peregrinus Apostolicus.
And I say,
an apostolic wanderer.
Apostolic wanderer, yeah. Ubekai, a BBC, and then the entire army of whom say, because we be apostolic wanderer, a dear man, a damn wanderer. Because I know the until the baby. And a Napoleon troops and call Costomo Rome. And you see a tuna dress. Only the car and the fisherman's ring, or so you know, for so me. It is a true address one. Kindly encourage.
Yeah, kindly. At the commencement of the new year, the French general Dufault was murdered in a rout on the streets of Rome. By February, the French army camped around the city, marched within its walls to take command of the Castle Saint Angelo. Its commander, General Bethia, proclaimed Rome a republic, and Pius was arrested and disposed. It was said that Pius stood up to his captors with quiet defiance. Bethia demanded that he relinquish the ring of the fisherman. He refused. Crowds of Rome citizens gathered under the driving winter rain to watch as the carriage of their beloved papal pulled out of Rome into exile under military guard. He was now the apostolic wanderer of Saint Malachy's motto. He was placed under house arrest in a Qatar house in Florence. There he was cut off from his peer and had but a handful of retainers and advisers sharing his incarceration. By 1799, war once again broke out, and fearing his potential deliverance, the French Directory forced the sick and aged pontiff to wander across the earth via Turin to his new prison lodgings in Briançon, France. This was at the end of April, around the time the first roses were in bloom, just as Nostradamus had predicted. The Emperor was moved in July to a citadel in the southern French city of Valence with his entourage of 32 priests. True to Nostradamus' prophecy, Pius VI would die in Valence, which sits between the confluence of two rivers, the Isre and the Rhone. He succumbed to an attack of acute gastroenteritis on 29 August 1799. Witnesses say that he was vomiting blood while he endured his final agony. From Bartholomew.
That's that we want to do apostolic wonder. The two men are in France, not being moving from one prison to another. Distance now to say it is a move to Abraham. When whom you saw now say you would acquire. Malachy wait from 1140. So, number 69, Pope November 69 India, obey apostolic wonder. You can any the meaning of the motto, difference when you and you know, more baba, your better listen. And you know, any other Napoleon. Napoleon defeated in 1815. The say Italian Peninsula and into Dutchess and papal states. Abraham Metra Travel. Wayna, that can probably attempt to say, and we also say Italy nuclear boom. They say it in the Cambodia as one country. Now, it will declare the same. And a very country, woman in our Roman Catholics is a woman, woman Chelsea. In 1817, Pope Pius IX. We are such a silent here, any or no, or reckoning no impose house arrest, voluntary house arrest on himself. On Kobe Bia. And you know, a Koban say 1870, no, Italian army, a CZ, papal states, no, and also Baby Crete, Kingdom of Italy. And when the country got Pope Pius IX, the refusal. And he now some more here and the imposition ban and also no. A Babako say Muse, the Roman question, it lasted 60 years. Pope Bio Baby on one in the house arrest. Moving within the few buildings now, a shower of Monsano. And one or Tratra Baby C said 60 years no. Now Quacker say, and the problem we have better than solve. 1922, Enna Benito Mussolini, a bar power. Oba power no. Enna Pope Fufonso bar power, Pope Pius the 11th, or no so bar power. Drum by no, and me say, Baby, assembly a pin so I'm a chedudo. A senior baby as a bit me as no near the year at 2 years. Until 11 February 1929, and a BB a friend of Lateran Treaty. Agreement be a between the Roman Catholic papacy and Italy as Omino. The transit near Swano. Until one could see so almost sign Lateran Treaty no 11th February 1929. Our Lateran Palace Rome. Now one more no the Muma who passed the 11th no where Cardinal Gaspari and a Benito Mussolini once we did not King Victor Emmanuel III. Third picture.
Third picture, and Pacho, Abodi Adasono, a signing of the Lateran Treaty. Pacho, Ayakadwa, Mufato Sumaye.
Lateran Treaty, no pictures number 4. Top left, Benito Mussolini reads his credentials prior to signing the Lateran Treaty on behalf of King Victor Emmanuel III. Cardinal Gaspari, seated, signed on behalf of Pope Pius XI. Second picture, top right. Mussolini signs the Lateran Pact of 1929, which brought into being the Vatican City state. Left down, Cardinal Gaspari signs the Lateran Concordat as Mussolini looks on. Any second picture, a wall left down. And a second picture, right down. Cardinal Gaspari and Benito Mussolini seated after exchanging treaty ratifications in the Hall of Congregation, the Vatican, June 7, 1929. Internal Lateran Treaty have a solve problem. Ama yi eno every it is a year for there yanko next video no.
Okay. Yes, second video now yes no. The signing of the Lateran Treaty. And only a second video. Me pacho ayakadwa mufan tusumaye.
Alexander Berthier ended the supremacy and humiliated the Pope after his 1,260-year absolute rule, stripping him and the papacy of its power. But 2 centuries later, an Italian socialist called Benito Mussolini gave the papacy the economic and political boost she needed, when after a secret meeting with Cardinal Pietro Gaspari, the papal Secretary of State under Pope Pius XI, the famous Lateran Treaty was signed on February 11, 1929, that bears the signatures of these 2 men, and it catapulted the papacy back onto the world stage as a respected religio-political power. French General Louis Alexander Berthier ended this supremacy and humiliated the Pope after his 1,260-year absolute rule, stripping him and the papacy of its power.
Video no aba Lateran Treaty. Kwanye fast wa ba ye ene omo amudi hujumadi ni nyina no ene hu video ofa ka ho asem ena ofa ayi hu ate ono oya no wa demonstrate no wa hu se asem no oka no oka obuku ma no wa san de hu video akere wo yanko ofa nchan
enti yakohaba ya sign Lateran Treaty no na Lateran Treaty no eba in 3 documents. Yedi kan ye political document a kire se afredie asumbiaba enti ase aye adwuma ene no ye twa asase nibi edema the Holy See. Ye recognize the sovereignty of the Holy See in the state of Vatican City state. Yate ne fofo. In 1929 agreement you know a honor be a say you declare Vatican City state as a country within a country. And you know, Roman Catholic Church, Ababenya government, you know, any the Holy See, you know, and you know, Sakoba Sadia, and then woman for your country, woman your assassin, and you know, Nadia, your person will be piano, or meet me. Second document, you know. Now, agreement regulating the position of the Roman Catholic Church and the Catholic religion in the Italian state. And he say, "Enenwa Roman Catholic Church, ababenya no any country no, or the assuminiko. Now so no, and none say, woman and na ekura Rome. Rome was formerly known as the city of the popes. Rome is a link to the Roman Catholic Church. No, woman the whole Rome, woman a portion of it there. The also by they are compensating say the Italian country and as a state, you know, official religion, you know, by a Roman Catholic Church. And also they share Italian constitution inside near the Mao. And a third document, you know, Yajimon Sase, Mafre properties, Mafre territories, and the other compensating financially. To one Chelsea Pudobi and one the man Vatican. So compensation. Yes, there were soon the soon ye my. Into almost as I be one more moon, and after one more can say, I believe you recognize the kingdom of Italy. Woman for the new. And we must say, to sign a tear there, your mamma pledge, no more can say, one family who could in same you play neutral in international relations, politics, wars, movement and conscience and same BM. And it is say, a man assumed at the buy. Now, that's our question. Revelation 13. A combat say, one more signing Lateran Treaty, New Year. Revelation 13:3, and a salmon up. Yanko Tinkai. Also, Revelation 13:3.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. I say, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
In the 1798. The Roman power number 11 February 1929. You sign the Lateran agreement, you know. You restore Rome. It is not just we are seeing. No, and go for your Mushia sitting down in and almost up at your movie. And from 1929, you restore send your revelation, you know, a kind. Because 17 and last week, you can. That was when the wound, you know, was fresh. The 2 or 1 years so. But you need Napoleon. I made this organized Rome. 1929, you are restored Rome. And from that time, you know, popes not buy any land with Yabijan and Nasu. ABB. The name say, yeah, but papacy, every yentino. Yeah, the current one. The authorities say, dear no, and a bachelor man for me who say, send your years here to be busy, and your third video,
your third video, no, I say, the deadly wound is healed, and all the world wonders after the beast. If I'm to any third video, Mofanto Somaya, na Papa Infantua Nasem so.
And the way Pope Francis, the current Pope, also by and they see a healing wound, no, saying a near my echo.
The deadly wound was healed, and all the world marveled and followed the beast. So what reveals that the deadly wound of the Vatican has been healed? Well, look at the National Catholic Reporter. The headlines just grip me. Pope Francis is the world's pastor. And so 1 month from today, we'll mark the 10th anniversary of the election of Pope Francis. Well, of course, we're right at March 13th. So 10 years from Pope Francis. And so world leaders go to visit the Pope to have his blessing. World leaders recognize the global influence of the Pope. World leaders know that it doesn't hurt to have his approval. Pope Francis made his appeals in person to world leaders at the United Nations in 2015. And then here's one from the tablet. Around the world in 10 years, Pope's 40 trips reflect his priorities. And so the World News Agency, 21 reasons Pope Francis is everyone's person of the year. Pew Research Center, Americans, including Catholics, continue to have favorable views of Pope Francis. And Vanity Fair, how Pope Francis became the people's pontiff. I mean, this is right out of the Bible. And so all eyes are on the Vatican, all eyes on the Pope. The Pope has a global audience. New York Times, May 24, 2015, here is the Pope in Washington, D.C. at the Capitol with a massive crowd looking on. And here he is speaking at the U.S. Congress. Can you imagine? This is right out of the book of Revelation. And so here you see him, and there you see the applause to the Pope of Rome. Well, as CNN reported, Pope Francis attracts more than 1 million worshipers to DRC, there in Africa, in a mass. And there you see the massive crowd. So can you imagine more than 1 million people attended Pope Francis Mass in Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And so very significant. Wherever he goes, he has large crowds, whether it be the United States or Africa. And so Papal Calendar 2023 holds important events for Pope Francis. And so one of those important events is the Pope Francis wants 2023 World Youth Day in Lisbon, Portugal, to be an event with life. And so Pope Francis is the world's parish priest, and that quality grounds and shapes every other aspect of his papacy. And he says, yes, I engage in politics, the Pope replies, because everyone must engage in politics, but the gospel has a political dimension, which is to transform the social, even religious, mentality of people, so that it is directed to be common good. The church is a mother. The mother gives affection, touches, kisses, loves. Look here, everybody.
Video number. Now, you say the whole world wondered after the beast. Number two, one send your tear no to say he is healed. Wonders na muhuno any. Okoba bia one doma itudinati. Ena oya president Obaswa. Ese okosra po. Oye ohin obet ohin kese nye ohine enketwa wo. Ohin pon kese pa. Ese se ukọ Vatican kosra po. One nipa banya oye. It's a case that the whole world wondered after him. But someone said it here. Over the battle.
That's any chichi moon. And you know, your healing wound, no. After Vatican City State, apa. Yanko here video no at also no. Na I don't ever chichi mommy Vatican, a quiet passo, Mussolini buy agreement, no. Yama Musica, Yama Moasase, Yama buildings. Say in the Nimunia Sem. Most so no, the air free Mohan say, Obekam and want to. Sentokwa goes over ya, Pompamungo Didi. Play absolute neutrality. Say, Cobase, assembly, Sibia. Two factions now, somewhere sino. So almost on some pro several name media, and then you wait me up. And yes, so Paco take size. video.
Anthony ebe video no me pa cho number na da mo screen so no e number obetimi de wo SMS and na say WhatsApp afaso na odi amayen ye be jemre ne kenkan ma bo modern fa wo SMS and na WhatsApp fa bre ye be kenkan e de ama me pa cho ye kohwe ye video etoso e 9 I say the Lateran Treaty and the creation of the Vatican City state. The Lateran Treaty and the creation of the Vatican City state. Pato aye kradwa, onfa engumu emaye.
The popes used to rule a country called the Papal States that covered much of modern-day Italy. It was during this 1,000-plus-year reign that the popes constructed St. Peter's Basilica, the largest church in the world, and also built a wall around the base of a hill known as Vatican, upon which St. Peter's stood. But the Kingdom of Italy next door thought Rome would make an awesome capital for their country and so conquered the Papal States. His nation destroyed, the Pope hid behind the walls of Vatican and conflictingly refused to acknowledge that the Kingdom of Italy existed, while simultaneously complaining about being a prisoner of the Kingdom of Italy, which, according to him, didn't exist. Rather than risk religious civil war by getting rid of the Pope, the Kingdom of Italy decided to wait him out, assuming he'd eventually give up. But religion is nothing if not obstinate, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 popes, and 60 years later, nothing had changed. Which now brings us to Benito Mussolini, the then Prime Minister of Italy, who was tired of listening to the Pope complain to Italian Catholics about his self-imposed imprisonment, so Mussolini thought he could score some political points by striking a deal which looked like this. 1, Italy gave the land of Vatican to the Pope, and 2, Italy gave the Pope a bunch of apology money. In return, the Pope acknowledged that Italy existed, and 2, the Pope promised to remain neutral in politics and wars, on the off chance that, you know, Mussolini thought this might be a thing. The deal was signed, and a new country, Vatican City, was born, and today the tiny nation on a hill has all the things you'd expect of a country: its own government that makes its own laws that are enforced by its own police who put people who break them in its own jail. It also has its own bank and prints its own stamps and issues its own license plates, though only its citizens can drive within its borders, presumably because of the terrible, terrible parking. And as the true mark of any self-respecting nation, it has its own top-level domain, .va. But despite all these national trappings, Vatican City is really not like any other country. Hold on to your fancy hat because it's about to get weird. To understand the Vatican, there are 2 people and 2 things you need to know about: the famous Pope, the incredibly confusing Holy See, the country of Vatican City, and along with that, the almost completely unknown King of Vatican City. But first, the Pope, who gets a throne to sit upon and from which he acts as the bishop for all the Catholics in Rome. Actually, all bishops in the Catholic Church get their own thrones, but because the Bishop of Rome is also the Pope, his throne is special and has its own special name, the Holy See. Every time a Pope dies or retires, there is a sort of Game of Thrones to see which of the bishops will next get to occupy the Holy See. So while popes come and go, the throne is eternal, and as such, the name the Holy See not only refers to the throne, but also all the rules that make the Catholic Church the Catholic Church. When Mussolini crafted that aforementioned deal, technically he gave the land of Vatican City to the Holy See, which, believe it or not, is a legal corporate person in international law. Basically, every time you hear the words the Holy See, think Catholic Church Incorporated, of which the Pope is the CEO. Now, back to the king. The King of Vatican City has absolute unchecked power within the country's borders, and his presence makes Vatican City one of only 6 remaining absolute monarchies in the world, including Brunei, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Swaziland. The king's absolute power is why Vatican City can't join the European Union, because only democracies are allowed. Though Vatican City does, strictly speaking, have a legislative branch of government staffed by cardinals appointed by the Pope, the King of Vatican City can overrule their decisions at any time for any reason. So why do you never hear about the King of Vatican City? Because though king and pope are 2 different roles, they just happen to be occupied by the same person at the same time, which has the funny consequence that because the pope is elected and the king is all-powerful, but they're the same guy, it makes Vatican City the world's only elected, non-hereditary absolute monarchy. It's this dual role that makes untangling Vatican City so difficult, because the pope, depending on the situation, acts either as the king of the country of Vatican City or the pope of the Holy See. Got it?
So ya ko share video no aba na video no se o share ni ya obehu nsem ewom pa pope no democracy ono enam ne so ode amawiase nyina nanso no ne kurom ho no on practice democracy unze e fani pa enso no na democracy hu hihye ni bibia no Holy See no e kire se democracy hihye tumi no ne nsem na wo eno nti na wo ya ban na unya ba akonwa ne so a se wo ya Africa ban, se wo ya Europe ban, se wo ya Hefa ban, obape eso kokuna ko hu no. tumidie nyina no ne nsɛm na wɔ nti woyɛ ɔhene pɔn kɛseɛ paa ɔbaeɛ sɛ ɔkɔhu no wei ɛne papa no a ɔfa ɛkyɛkyɛ ne mu ka n'asɛm kwan a ɔmofaa so a Vatican City Vatican nation no yɛ create yɛ no ɛno ho video ɛna papa demonstrate ne nyinaa ma wahu no ɔva ɛfa kyɛw
ɛda ase enti yɛhu sɛ nnɛ no Vatican City state a country on its own and a video no ma you say Pope or a king and also a head of the religious body king or equivalent to a head of state and one also a president of the Vatican City state and as a king of the Vatican City state enuntino over ambassadors small country to say Vatican no or ambassadors were about 183 countries across the world and no you better the video no in the next edition yeah who say ono what you want power no kura no onye ni bi akwa o me who say ono a ne ono a ewo asase so enti oye king osaye poop your last video no aye ba be hwe no Cardinal Peter Apia Texan oko BBC Hard Talk Emma obabe chirechire mu Vatican diplomacy na holding na no person yes a change in the last few years from Pope Pius the IX, and now Omulusu Rome as the city of the popes, you know. Ama say you know, one more pursue a policy of non-partiality. Peter Texan, in a Kinka Lateran Treaty, no. And share any addition, and you will now say, yes, say. Wo the nedia policy no wasesa no a non-partiality ensure a can Lateran Treaty no ho say abstain from taking sides in international relations, abstain from taking sides in international politics and wars into your show and now don't say your more compensation and waji into mama again say more na more adapt to ye and she be near the share mutu mi nyina echi no ya ma mo nche a mo mudi so yanko tie Peter Texan o churchire mu e wo BBC Hard Talk now no obesa bam bebre in the subsequent issues because on different topics topic no ba obesa ba na ba be kan the Vatican view by any day Vatican diplomacy and Obekai Yanko.
Yo, share your video etoso enum. Na I don't know abodi adaso no Vatican diplomacy is total neutrality according to the Lateran agreement. Vatican diplomacy is total neutrality according to the Lateran agreement. Bacho are you ready? Umfantusumaye.
The Vatican diplomacy over the years is gone through changes, especially from the days of one Pope, Pope Pius IX, when the Vatican lost a lot of its territory. So basically, we lost Rome as a city of the popes. The Vatican, I think, it adopted a policy of non-partiality. But the basic thing about Vatican diplomacy is like a father who witnesses two sons in a fight. Tendency is not to take the side of one against the other. Tendency is to try to conciliate, to bring the two together. And that has been the thing. I'm sure that in the case of Ukraine, people would have wished that the Pope would come out and just, whatever. But this is, the tendency is more to try to conciliate, bring two sons or two children, whatever, fighting together rather than take sides and all. The Vatican diplomacy over the years is gone through changes, especially from the days of one Pope, Pope Pius IX, when the Vatican lost a lot of its territory. So basically, we lost Rome.
Video no aba na ye diem Ghana ni Apia Texan na kasa no na nkyɛnkyɛnmu a ɔde ma no ɔtry sɛ ɔbɛdɔgye ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ ne sɛ pope no wɔ tumi nanso ɔno ara na ayɛ sɛ adeɛ no ɔnyɛ no sɛnea ɛyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ no nti no asɛ ɔpɛ ɔni tumi because ɔde ne nsa hyɛ krataa ase sɛna ɔno onya tumi ɔma UK king bi ɛbɛnili yɛ ma edu baabi ɔmo nya saa tumi no saa na ɔno nso tumi bi ama ɛnɛ ɔni saa akwanya ne sɛ ɔde ne ho bɛfɔrefɔre amanyɔsɛ mu ɔfa pàtó tɔsoma.
nti yakɔhwɛ Cardinal Peter Apia Texan na sɛdeɛ mekaa no in subsequent editions no ɔbɛbɛm raba abɛ contribute to Vatican portion in other areas. By virtue of the Lateran Treaty, no, all succeeding popes now, no, they are recognized universally as sovereign kings and as heads of states. I mean, you know, your core scripture more, the book of Revelation 17, 10 and 11, I can say there are 7 kings. We know at the air called Malachy in Swasam no can also about the last kings, you know, and I make us a any ever no, and we are subsequently. But scripture no can say the 8 kings of Revelation. Every last picture for the day.
The last picture here, the 8 kings of Revelation, the last pope.
That be kind of Revelation 17, 10 and 11.
Okay. But you can Revelation 17, 10 and 11. I say, and there are 7 kings, 5 are falling, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition.
Into the picture under that screen, also. Pope Pius the 11th, one about power 1922. Agreement about 1929. By virtue said, on and on Tiso at that time, you know, one was accepted as the first king. Pope Pius the 11th. After 11th, Pope Pius the 12th, Ebae, also 1939 to 1958. Okoye, and John the 23rd, Pope John the 23rd. Ono na nam no so a Pope John Secondary School Kofodia omo establish here ono na de to no and after Pope John the 23rd no Pope Paul the 6th also by 1963 to 1978. After that no and John Paul the 1st 1978 to 1978 ono yabeka ne ho asem subsequently. Say poison no, so no one the who knew who after no John Paul the 2nd by no by at the time John air the vision into account say there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, 1 is into the focus of attention. Only the whole vision no so Oba nso obeye adwumaden already church nemia so na communism hwiase nemia so o achieve niema bebre o sa the Roman Catholic Church ever see the center stage of global geopolitics and sana o free mo akọ okoye nso no Pope Benedict the 16th ene by ono by April 19 2005 to February 28, 2013. And also there, and yes, will be we or one or Becca say, a measu or bad yes, on court and into your resigning Navako. And you see the 7th king rules only a short period of time. And after no, Your bar, no. You can't want them, the 8 kings, I can't Bible, verse 11.
Okay. I say, and the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition.
Or no, and I be Roman church, a beko or say details, no beba, subsequently. And you know, the Manu Babisia, and then the Aristotle Roman Catholic Church. Yasa de ni tumi ama no name onyanya ni beast status no samre a ye ka say any seasonal woman odam the plan wilderness experience or you're in transition if you said they are by the 8th who is of the 7 no or no name so ena Roman Catholic Church be say nyani beast status was started persecuting Kopo. Now the class one say one world government and every baby as if you say prepare for the world's dictator. Now dictator and so the bar persecution. If you don't go with him, he will kill you. Let man be here. No mama ko kukwai no aba. And they go gumije time cry by seconds. Medasi.
Over, medasi pa. Answer na offer ede nanu disem aba na answer na yebeko Israel ho no yenkin kan SMS kakra aba. I say good afternoon. I am watching you from Ajeso. My name is Bernard. I'm watching you from Ajeso. God bless you all. My name is Bright Anthony Kojo from Etieku, Wasa East. Please, is it good to observe Easter and is having real you and Penifo Ate Wanu Disema Odiaba? Speaking from Takwa, I want to join you people. I want to know where you people meet at Takwa. Me pacho yede number no ebetu dwa e wo Takwa amount ansa na ebepon no na wafre na afi ni a oho no na di nkomo. Please, I am Lama Dion from Atonsu Esiriso. I want to ask that is Roman Catholic a good church according to its origin? Pacho inti nsemu na bibi awati se wati bi. Please check the sound. Sorry. I am Kwasi upon watching the program from live from Zenu. Great teachers, keep the fire burning. Yedase. Good day, sir. Please, is there a connection between NATO and Russia conflict and what the Bible says in Revelation 16:12 to 16? Yo, ani yade yensam SMS no ebesi yebesan aba ne abeto so na yetwa ye ho aba ye ba yede ne ho no ebeto so.
To bentro kakayo so oduma nkpon yankopon afashe pisak aye Passover no edu ho biomo afiwe so ebeye kikim aye on the 22nd of April 2024 our Kumasi Cultural Center. Wafa ya poku dan call ye executive director Emma Free the Mind Movement a few ways so near Bejina near the Obadia Fasha Kron ewu Kumasi. Sada no ebeye kikim, Sada no ebeye bonfrete. Eye edidie asa enijie to daybreak. Kojo Isaiah Choir or the music man abe ma yendom to me ye diasa ayi odman kpan yankopon enimnyam ye kaiwo a divine and the biblical new year about the fashion do wo obibia mro a free the man movement and I did the second edition ebro media partner a Hebrew TV was a kind of baby our social media handle sadano a beye bonfrete a beye o say ye so person who made the own shomubia from 0244686557 and as I said 05046430052 sadano a beye kikim a Kumasi Cultural Center a Pisak a Passover Sona to va.
Obviously, you're saying I'm about dream at the bar Wake Up Africa do so. I am say you really part 1 na part 2 so and I do. You call Yabra Israel now answer the call visitation bigger basso and about your what's it mean another home say visitation biba I am Mankasim visitation at the basso a year of Israel and Casa at the Bao a year maybe die every of Israel at the bar Mankasim anti Mankasim for Monsanto now Mohusania Obet to Munyama now we are welcoming of Israel. Yo, I feel that you call of Israel now you're one now or the actual so. Of Israel, I got no cover. Yeah, we did say we are call. We be fine. Nobody has it. Nobody has it. Come on. I'm not doing what we did. Or man so. Yeah, ready. Next year I phone I phone also. Now my say we are so no. So Ubomo Amonia da. Amonia na wona na hono ube da. And we are still about quiet. And we are between a month for a dinner. Or so would be a old boat should be free by. Easter Nays, ya won nane or talk or so a month for dinner. Now, so we know would be officially, but maybe I know. Not a bon son of celebrating. Bible down no. I'm going to guide any pagan, especially a Christopher. So many will be not the Moyano, a Bebreka, no problem. The Moyano say a new Bible newer. That's a new rebel somewhere, I'm afraid. And the Western a celebrating if you go on. The Bishop 4 Gospel 4. Okay. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I want to say friends said the 4 Gospel good. So a hint from Emma Papano or can I say or the official the resurrection. That's a Easter. So sorry. Now feel you should book history. Yes, I would say. And you should be a dear Western no will be a papa. I didn't know. Control. Good. Life into very important to very. So I'm on for celebrity, official beer. Okay, India. I want to see you are celebrity. We want to celebrate my Abbasum. Good. Sahi solo na ba no ko free o official omedi patandi o takwa official omedi enti official bia no who say the wood no hono de bae amodi if you go pon so say finya me na me ni de bae no butare na we chire believe official de bae no butare na we chire or the buyer. I will say, Easter, yes, you said, a soleil, not to Cosoro. And the fellow resurrection. Into Easter, and the day Easter at that salon. I'm celebrating every annually, year beer. Now, I don't know.
Never come down, pa. No, correct. So, what is with you? And then, Yaba, research about it, not for your research. This will be the software canoe, and I will tell you. Here, Papa the baby arsenal. The whole salon is a trouble Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Young called Matthew 26, verse 17. And our panel could be a Hebrew, sir. And the sacrifice, we really officially for the Easter. No. Only. Good. I say I go for. Omudu Ogbetutu. Sir. Good. Could be official. Omudu. Thank you. The Sahib before no. We will be official for the Easter. Sir. It is a reason that only no more no dia. Okay. Matthew 26, verse 17.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, why wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover?
That's it.
And the question no be
yes. So that time we ask, sir, into the phone. Commissioner Master, then I'll be the better. I will teach him a fashion until a Passover and Easter. What can I tell you?
Yet, what's what? I said, and he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples.
That's it.
Sir.
I will keep what?
The Passover. The Passover. Not Easter.
No.
Not Brunia.
No.
Sir.
Na aha. Ana amafo tiri ba. The fro obi Michelangelo. Ebuni wo ko. Ogana oye design bi. The design wa ye no. They say drawing bi. Drawing wa ye no. On the ship about the menu, maybe be an idea, sir, and correct. It will not 12 for no, as long as for no, will be in the plate, in the cup, on the moon. There is what if in the actual moon I see. No boy. I don't know about from Africa. No, I'm not sure about the menu. To be able to say, oh, this is similar for the the last supper. When I'm not food now, you know, so I'm afraid yes, sir, and you like for the council. But for that's how to away. And sir, every day, and then we are buffalo, every year will be due. Every year drawing, artist, I say, yes, I could do so, no. Papa, no, where will be me? He before every day. And say, Fulani for, Gao for, Asante for, account for the day, first in the dia. Ayowa, sir. No, a terrible, no trouble here, no two men, the shades of Bunkumu. The draw picture at the chair, say, round table, or bearing the cup, we play to see anymore. I wasn't for infant.
Okay, 19. And the disciples did as Jesus had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Now, when the evening was come, and he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And
that will not do Passover, no, sir. I don't know, it's not a must fancy, and I don't midnight to know. To the last you did, after secondary side. I wish I know. No, say, I will not yet, or the hope of home who know anymore. But one told me, Mbaku, with him, the grandmother, and say, what the bride? The Yama. This is me. Now, can send you and they were exceeding sorrowful,
And began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, who, Lord, is it I? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish.
I had a way no, sir. I had a way no. And then I could see the drawing now about 4 years, and I suffered a dinner so. I said, the only two sour I want about Kumo. I did the animal, sir. And the man come. A man can, sir, and yes, I'm a can. One would church the pastor here. If you go on. Munche you, Christopher, Munche you. Papa, what I say? No, Bakuba Yama. Robin May, May, since you don't oh, don't, with us. Don't make us a Sana, or you can, I just move on. And yes, you know, half man, half God, yes. Or the only part. So, actually, or so we say, we will see. Until you can say, there are only two sour, I will walk back, come no. I say, and he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in a dish, the same shall betray me. Nobody did it, sir. First of all, I be here, sir. At the first of you, only I can go here. No, be adding, sir. Yeah, as a friend for them. Now, didn't sir, you need I tell you, no. What's your number? What's your number? And that's for the whole of the day. No matter what you talk about my arm, no, I got to them. I say, I will communion. No, correct. Now, when I feel smart, I'm going to make sure I say that a good you know of our panel. How do I go down? The higher drop. Yes. I have drop. I have the trialism. When I'm going to say about the moon, he before already be indifferent. But if I do a side boy for the Michelangelo, that means sorry, that means Italy, while you're drawing, so that above at the problem, no, that means yesterday say, side of a father, a good deal, kind of quiet, into the school, I will say. It's a deal, a round table. A round table, maybe a plate, naturally, the plate, naturally. With the fee, somebody, a calendar, or the fee. Hey, Biano, into the room, say, oh, a sofa, maybe the plate, naturally, the cup, the plate, naturally, the cup is pretty good. I'm not listening, yes, the person, the delay is out. Into not dinner women. Like I said, Abrafon, no more culture, not the shed Bible, no more Hebrew for the culture, no more my dinner now. So, oh, cheap. Oh, cheap. It's a small matter of kind, no matter there or where, it is different, totally different. You see, and inside the cross of the Campo, Sana, a year, I will have that door. And some person, I saw the problem ever. I mean, okay. Origin of Easter, from pagan festivals and Christianity to bunnies and chocolate eggs. Okay, on Easter Sunday, a bunny will deliver chocolate eggs to many households across Australia. Have you ever wondered how this seemingly bizarre tradition came to be? Well, it turns out Easter actually began as a pagan festival celebrating spring in the northern hemisphere, long before the advent of Christianity. I heard that. Now, I am Muslim. Ọ̀sẹ̀ kò sí bá náà ọba lè pì pàtẹ́rẹ̀. Ẹnu ni. Ẹtùnú ẹ̀nfà yẹn ná owó dìbò hó ẹ̀nfà hó ẹnu ni. atina ayade abofo no omo celebrate ya odo bosom kase pa wokura no na de ni ba Africa no odo bosom no fehye no odo ka ho bae ana omo kwan no de be hye asodo mu ejede no mu a so de ye enu mu so de enu no ka sa ya ye fa nkai no bu bu a na me question say adia no de no no ebe no ba yo ene mo kan so mo of a media, or maybe so the enemy be the say the nature of our pan or our way say, what could you say?
Inti Adrian and Cassa at the Muna, Yeshu and Cassa, and Crown, no more years in General, you say, or yeah, movie and excellent in your coffee, you know, nice over dinner so.
Yeah, but a lot of attention, you come back, and say, with sir. Gospel, no?
Okay.
Mark 14.
Mark 14.
Verse 1 to 12.
Okay. Mark 14, verse 1 to 12. After 2 days was feast of. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover.
Okay.
And of unleavened bread.
Matthew kind.
Yeah.
Passover.
Yeah.
Okay.
After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death.
Sir,
sir.
And official say Passover so Israel be ano o celebrate to move to power say the e be cheno na ya finish no. The san say you dem be bia you dem cheno na ha be oba Passover, the Betchem. And then, Passover.
But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar of the people. And being in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, as he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spike. And the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover, his disciples said unto him, where would thou that we go and prepare that thou mayest eat the Passover? And he sendeth forth 2 of his disciples, and saith unto them, go ye into the city, and there shall meet you a man bearing a pitcher of water. Follow him. 14. And wheresoever he shall go in, say ye to the good man of the house, the master saith, where is the guest chamber, where I shall eat the Passover with my disciples.
Passover. Mark,
okay.
22 verse 1. And tell them to among Fassi, said the reading the best of a abba. Now they are far so the moon. Not so for the hour come along, and bra any Bible. I wonder. I've been Bible. No, Miss Betty. Ya can, and I feel good already. I feel good a coffin like that. I'm not for a real crano. I am Passover. So you also have a point 1 day. This is Passover now. Brother Bibi. And you dear, and you dear. It's also Passover, and your bonnie ever. Now, on my account, I pass over you. The boy I know me, I pass over you. Boy, you dear. Boy, I pass over you.
Because we are faithful.
Sir,
and they be a bonibia, a war feeling. Sir, the Okusi or body, no body, by now passing over.
Redemption,
sir. It's true. Sir, I know ye is your phone fee.
Redemption, before you or the bonnet bar, that's a window, who did be a pass over you. Beginning, some of the start here, let's go now, I'm celebrating, to do more. What for no better good no couldn't paddle or side or the bar or that's a would be a pass it for you. it's not he before the Jews for no for Passover and for me agro. And almost listen, I want to so na and yet Easter and yet Passover. It's a reason say what did the Casafa far from gospel no. You hear Matthew, you hear Mark, you go look.
Now the feast of unleavened bread drew near, which is called the Passover.
That's it.
And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains how they might betray him.
According bribe, only the master, the master man, sir. According bribe, the master will come back. I will be given big deal. According bribe, Scapulo, the Roma. Why would I call Utia, the master tea? What was in there? Many Roma. Utia, the master tea was in there. Last I don't know. Anybody believe? Amba, he was for the last one. And before, you must have let's go to Shalom. Must have tea so tea. It's a little tea. What hell is the dialogue? What do you last? Like Papa. Every time, Nipa. Ha. Enti no, masa no hunu. Na say ba ko be nyama. Na awe ho. Na that day no so o discover koi. So man ni so fa. Yeah. Yeah, open the dribble and the I don't know. We mama. Ti am fresh no. Into a few our Passover. What's that? And they were glad and covenanted to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude. So the part will give the master man. I will deal with it. I will have the same matter. I don't know what's a number. You go, you mama. It's true. I can't have to say, not a prophetic. No! Nipana almost. I don't know, Okuta Sikamotono. No more. Oh, no, I'm not treasure of the Sapu family. Yeah. It's really a big Canada. I consider that. If you pass over, we say, Matoniama. Matoniama. The new name for my son, but yeah, to go new. Matoniama. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, go and prepare as the Passover that we may eat. Passover. And you know, the big deal of the more, heaven, you actually say, Easter. And now say, and you say, and your Passover, and your first shot, you go say, Israel follow, the minimum of the 2 billion, I feel the donation to donation to donation. And first, we did that. What did? So it means the fire asanko what fulfill the promise of Jehovah. But you know, coming a dear, I am in tea because from Matthew to John and therefore gospel and yes, sir. Anyway, Paul baby. I remember coming to come I remember Paul. What you feel with But you can't, you sure at the end of the year, there's nowhere called Easter. And that is also, according to history, if you really come, I am awesome. I don't know if I'm beauty. It's not what we can compare to a person. It's a more question, Madam Sharon, Asamoah, or what's land? Of course, or really. Easter. It's a job. I could talk about them. It's a Bible. And Charlie, Mark 7:7. Mutai. If you look at that, New Jersey, Madam Sharon Asamoah, or Westland, it's called Fumu. I consider Baba by now Mark 7:7. How be it in vain do they worship me? I don't know. Must worship me. Teaching for doctrines, the commandments of men. What church a nipa ashadiye? Easter. What church a nipa ashadiye? For laying aside the commandments of God. The good formula the what actually you hold the traditions of men. And I look a nipa ashadiye Easter. The good formula the actually. Now we like a nipa ashadiye Easter. I'm afraid over the Ecclesia. When say baby, Easter. It's in okay say idea I was say nipa ebe yampa into me we atwomfo the people mla no what actually na nipa ashadiye na mukura mu kwai. As the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things you do. And he said unto them, full well you reject the commandments of God, that you may keep your own tradition. What's up? What one? It's a real millionaire. And free now couple 2 million of bono and free. I don't know about Bobby now buffet. Pass over there, you let them chat, what do I do for? How about you? Pass over there, you says what do I do for? There's a title already. Now the collection account. If I would look with him, we are not see. I didn't know you should be free. The meaning, if I'm not, practice extraordinary origins of everyday things. Good. Okay. Yeah, kind of fanatics, extraordinary origins of everyday things. Yeah, kind page 55. I see Easter, the 2nd century Rome. Easter, which in the Christian faith commemorates the resurrection of Christ and consequently is the most sacred of all holy days. Is also the name of an ancient Saxon festival and of the pagan goddess of spring and offspring Easter. Pagan goddess. Yeah. And I am one of four so I don't do the room of war. Also, I don't celebrate it. Okay, sir, Passover, Passover, the thing you're the good for. Sir, no, wait. How a once commodious Saxon festival to Easter was transformed into a solemn Christian service is another example of the supreme authority of the church early in its history. Watch it. I was so similar. I was so bad. Let me say, no person come say a resolution. It's on the family side, it is the media, over course, no, because we are at the chair. Until a new idea, a feeling upon. Come last time, we hear a mankind John.
Okay.
We do like I say, hey, almost 3 gospel, no? John the one can John 13.
Okay. Verse 1.
Yeah, verse 1.
John 13, verse 1. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end.
Also,
Passover.
Sir, I am Manasi. Also, Candia, Manasi. Okay. Sir, so 4 gospels in Passover, dear. Manasi. Aka Passover, dear. Look at you. A son said, and no. Ɛna yɛnkɔpɔ kaa sɛ afi biara no yɛntra se saa pastor yɛ sɛ metie ne paa o ɛno na Hana na ebi ɔba a ɔkɔ Shilo a ɔkɔnya ɔkɔdidi yie a ɔsɛ ɛdidi na ɛdidi o ɔkɔdidi a owie ɔkɔ aso na kɔbɔ mpaeɛ sɔfo sɛ manu abo ɔsɛ mmoe nana nhwie na wɔde ɛhɔ ɛbu yɛnkɔpɔ anim sɔfo sɛ ɛnna na afɛ no kɔmmra no kɔsɛ ebi ne yie ne yie ni to be say bia no go for the edia mouth after the combine no na wawo young boy Samuel that's called the Passover Mishra enti e bato bia we be there come to Kumasi 22nd we am be experiencing the presence of Almighty once ampa you go pon afasha no ejana so amasi
e da say me photo ye ba be call SMS ne so na mo a mo frɛ number na ye SMS ne WhatsApp no ye ntumi fa ntumi dan ne ntumi nkenkan ɛma adɔfo why yɛsrɛ mo a mo frɛ C line na ye de ato so na ye WhatsApp ɛne SMS no o frɛ ye ntumi fa mo frɛ ɛsa mo bɛ ha yɛn yɛsrɛ mo I say please why do you guys keep on disappointing your viewers? You started showing movies when to be interest part, then you cut off. Or the sort of say, yes, you will be Nasia, every bra, then Momo. And the son of Professor of Jehovah. It is say, say the video to Swa. You can because I said, a quantity of the I am interested in Muma, not the Yefiso. And this is the Milo, and Brentino, yes, Rawa, the Braca, Sani, Bellano. We also say, hey. I say good afternoon, Grandpa. It's your son and daughter, Nana Kwame and sister Agiwa from Kaichire Hotel, Bangfa. We greet you this afternoon. It's our prayer that God should add more ages to your age. We are enjoying your program. Thank you. Papa said Odabonso Ase. RTV, please. If you get free airtime, please use it to preach personal hygiene and stop attacking religious institutions. Yo, also what they are banana. Yate. Greetings to you all. I always pray that Allah grants that man more years and strength to enlighten us more. From Abatua, Takwa Kwame, Nakuru. Yo. Good afternoon, my dear teachers. I am Adams and watching you live from Wamfie. Keep up with the good work. I am really sure that by the end of the process, all people will get to know the truth. Yo. My name is K. Gamina from Akumadan. May Yah bless you all. Please repeat the 3 types of history for me. Malachy from Mampontin Kumasi. Thank you for teachings. My opinion is that by 2025 going, we shall see the National Sunday Law observation. Really, my question is: will this Pope I am Chipsa Jr. from Atonsu. I also want to know if Roman Catholic Church is good for the nation. Yate. The pacho visitation ebe baso ye ba ye besantoa SMS no so visitation ebe baso no eye mankasim of Israel eba ho eye meminda eba yi enu nti momboabo mo ho another visitation so ebe koso ewo Safi asanyen so eye brother Ediko ebeba na eno na se ebia wo Safi asanyen so na wo pese information bi a obefre 0594 205795 sanso na Safi bekwa nso so visitation ebeba so eye meminde ya eno so open information bi a obefre Dr. Nkwahia ono so the number ne 0243734847 Anunti yapamcho monsha nso ema yen se ne be ya se mo amwo ho no mo beje mpanyifo yi fel so. Good afternoon, please. Why do Christians like condemnation? Thank you. Is that the reason why the West are fighting Russia and China for unipolar world? Akim Achiase PK. You thanks to God from this information from Wafayao Meduma. What is different between Yahweh and Yehovah? First caller. Caller wa baso me pacho wake up Africa di mediation na wa ba no. We need papa Afrefi.
Me
pacho yeti o.
Ala kamu pa ne mon church ala wi abude mai.
Yo.
Na me no de mo do mu fura. Me timo sa because of the program thing. The method is called. You will see how me share no. Me need to be cash in the friend or Google or senior. I say people don't know now who told them. Omunim na wa na be ka kire wo mo na o kan so a omuntie ya na emi o entinzem do ba mo ka nyina omunim se da mo kan na okre ni fire na omunim fa ya adwen eni program na chi na mo ni ewiye nkwaye wa maba ra den kan no pa na let's say Passover contribution no tifo ne adofo mwa na yentimi tutua na enye fe wa me Chia brother Ediko, Lateran Treaty, Pajini, Damasipa, Lateran Treaty.
Yeah, that's it. Friend for our friend, I see you by the end of so, me pacho, within if I call Frefi. Good afternoon.
About your radio.
About the Adam Yahoya. Okay.
I mean, Shiramo and more teaching, Siamo teaching. Now, Messero me, but book now more reading more body, no cost. Now, Miss me reading in a Ukraine.
Yate, the number be back to Ja, it's the Toswa, now afa, now afraid, offer Bukuno on Sabitimi Akabi. Yeah, that's it.
Hello.
We pato call our friends so udini pa kwa frefi.
The kazapi apanta tuma tankare. Wakani yahu.
Okay, yeti o pa.
The program no be need o pa.
Dum volume no of your TV no na tie yen. Why? Na fe kasa. Caller, our bus will be patrol. Wake up, Africa, Juma Dish. Udini Papa Frefi.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Udini Papa Frefi.
My name is Dr. Aminu.
Okay. Please, we are hearing you.
This is my first time calling your program. Okay. I seen it on TV like yesterday, starting to follow you guys. I have a personal question to the other guy, the black guy, what for Israel or.
Okay.
My question is a personal one. How is the difference between him and Alban B. Moshe, his teaching and you guys' teachings? Personally, I want him to educate me on his program I'm watching it right now, because the difference between him and the Alban is look like the same page they are on. So in his personal, I want him to know his personal difference between him and Alban B. Moshe.
He said you, so he will answer you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, one message. So good afternoon. Please, which church is true? Church of Christ. Good afternoon. Please, it's good to celebrate Easter. Please, the feast of Passover, biblical. Question is wake up, Africa. I am Isaac from Swedro. What's the media? Mintias here. Sign problem. Caller, what? Yeah, the patrol didn't for Afrefi.
I'm a patrol, make us a free, come I say, after
yo, that's what you tell. Mitio.
The patrol, the question is, there be no Bible anymore. And we now better say, we yanko pony or Mocassa say, we yanko pony or Mocassa say. Don't call a deep for one so. On so, yeah, D. Sema or say, we yanko pon can't tell me say. It doesn't look and say, then yanko pony a cassa and a brainy and so far. I don't to perceive who now can able to be me to be the asset. Timpantom one.
Yo, Yate was a mono, and Benifate. Benifate, and the Ombedi Mujuma. I am Yao Poku from Kwawu. Call our basso, the patrol dini Fakwa Frefi. Hello? Okay, me too.
Shalom, shalom.
Yeah, shalom.
You go this year, Hona. The American said you're more children. The one of what you're crying at. The more bonnet, the Yadaba of Freya. Who kind of prayer I want to hear? Not make quite sorry. South of my children was the end heaven. Call one, make your home down on for 5 MP. The American South of up to now, the same, a minute to be more time, me home could eat with simply now. The American said, someone one phone call. And my mom is young, no body, no crazy, and official. And we did say, you don't know, body and shalom, shalom.
Yeah, that's it. I am Yao Opoku from Kwawu, Afram Plains. More fire, Mr. Israel Nkrumah. Please tell the Christians. You call our basso, me patrol, Udini Pakwa Frefi.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Udini Pakwa Frefi.
Your friend Douglas, because I see my brother from family.
The patrol,
Mr. We passing one. A brother and a Udina.
Yo, and Benifate, Ombeyuano. Please tell the Christians that we do not drink wine during Passover. Thank you. Call our basso. Okay. Please. Call our basso, Pacho. Udini Fakwa Frefi.
Yo, Pacho, me firstly.
Meet you.
Yo, this is Kwame.
Pacho, man, to Kakrama and why?
You, Pacho. Pacho, anytime they are no a Christo phone can be said. This will be working, this will be working. The person you won't say, and no quick pass, it will be working. Young one, and now I did the only sort of road at the young one.
Yo, and Benifate, what's the mono? Please, I want to also ask, please, before the introduction of Christianity and the Holy Bible. Call our basso me pacho udini pa kwa frefi.
Me pacho me dende bon ka so sinando maso.
Me pacho mi tio.
Me pacho we say date na amore tu jamaa na 22nd of April no. And say you say for good and kwase na for you say. And in the first month, we the first month no Bible say akabo say di kan no. If you be in India, we will be in the second month. And to win the first month of the year, and the second, and I say, first month, you know, and then the week, no, you percent date, you know, the first month, me pa chompa ni for be you ano. Please, good afternoon. Please, my name is Peter Duodu. I reside inside Kumasi, Apredi. It's difficult to give vivid description how we have failed as a country and pay no attention for knowledge acquisition. For bet, yeah, call our basso udini papa Apredi. If I told them, udini papa Apredi. Okay. Acquisition, but rather bad bits. Call our basso udini for kwa frefi.
Ujina sabano. Kana sindi anansi bisha. Na mesi bisha mpeni for say. Rade boy very reaction. Enyom ayatu. Ochichi muma sewi nyamenyom ana sewi memi nyangopon ana say in Spanish say lenyen say we nyamenyom na wi nkoye yiyum ni wi nkoye wi ana mimi aba konso ka Church of Christ na ya so le pan enye sa me de aso bua obo Jesus Christ din bia and na so pa yan condemn bia ba ye kire wo say sorry ya obo Jesus Christ I na sorry I see pako
yo. Yeah, that was it. In the Bible, the Passover was for the Hebrews and not the Egyptians. So please, we are now saying the Passover is for the whole world, including the Gentiles. Yapato yate.
Hello.
Yeah, friend for our first udini baby afrefi.
Hello.
Hello. Yate onka udini fa kwa afrefi.
Make a better tenko.
Okay, udin.
It's a better tenko.
Udini yantu aso.
Udini ajamensa.
Yantu aso yeti o. Le party otie no munyi ni mfiso emaye why? Otie no. I am Gilbert from Kumasi, Israel. Do you but refer me wasem ni biom na wasem no ezisi so ye mame. Let not brother Israel say, Bravo after Abason, but you didn't pack off refi.
Maybe coffee. Hello, maybe coffee.
Okay, you too.
Maybe coffee.
Me too, for
coffee. I'm about my film watch and so look at the film, ma. Look at the you need to be a better it's your film, making you are, you want to improve. I know much about power.
Yo, then you what? Why? Let not brother Israel say that there is no word Easter found in the Bible. Please, it's in the Bible from Cape Coast. Yo. Friend for our friend. Yeah, but good afternoon.
Me pacho me pasa me back program.
Also, udini fakwa kasafi.
Okay.
Udini fakwa kasafi lower TV no.
Me pacho very good. Me kasafi kafra ba.
Yo yetio.
Okay. Me back program.
Also, mitio.
Me pacho
say some of more can almost say men down on the say Christopher. That a crabby vision is there. Do a down who couldn't need to put you in the almost by yet, I didn't answer here.
You and Pennyfua to Wasam no, Umbiwano. Thank you for your teachings. But my question is, how are you going to sit on one bowl to eat the Passover? Call our Passover, so we didn't have a free. Yo, yet you.
Passover no the first. Look at the Easter. Look at the general material part of the tomato. By what kind of that's the 60 corner also say. You find the carrier. It's about the do to a woman that tells you are not a young. So what could you say? You need to the bed home. Then you make your friend and carrier. Also, yes, and that's the question.
You, Benifati, question on Biwano. Thank you for your teachings. But my question is, how are you going to sit on one bowl to eat the Passover, because you are many? Please, is there heaven? You, Pamfaudin Amma. Keep it up. I'm from Sefi, the Pai. You, Yedase, you're keeping it up. Who are the Jews and Hebrews and Papa Ni? Are Jews white or blacks? You. Okay. Yo, Abusia, aha, Anna, Breba Maya Pine, Emedi, Jumedi, Nina, Abba, Area, and Pennyford, the kind of home, I did Jumedi, a Somono, Ayo Fire, Poku Dampa, Executive Director, the Maku, and Freedom Mind Movement. But then the bar Israel and Chroma, I will not say National Coordinator, the Maku, and Freedom Mind Movement. Me, I did Jumedi, Chami, Medini Kofi, Kumi, Mitram Minia, Michael, Asma, that's the Ibisia.
Tutu bentro kakayo so oduma nkpon yankopon afashe pisak aye Passover no edu ho biomo afiwe su ebeye kikim aye on the 22nd of April 2024 awo Kumasi Cultural Center. Wafa ya opoku dan call ye executive director Emma Free the Mind Movement afiwe su oni ebejina na edi obade afashe kronkron awo Kumasi. Saada no ebeye kikim, saada no ebeye bonfrete aye edidie asa enigye today break. Kojo Isaiah oye the music man abema yanjom to me ye diasa ayi oduma nkpan yankopon enimnyam. Ye kaiwo a divine and the biblical new year. About the fashion duo, Obibi Ambro, a free the man movement and